Hi guys, it's Jeff here. I'm going through the Legend of Grimrock. I'm really looking forward to starting this game because I was a big fan of Dungeon Master many years ago and spent many hours playing that game, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this game is going to be as good and as addictive. So I'm going to start with the party creation. Now you have a choice of whether you want to use the preset characters, composed of 2 fighters, a rogue and a mage, which is kind of the vanilla party. It's the standard party that most people will use. I find it always fun to create your own characters and add a little bit of your own creativity into your party build. So I'm going to create my own characters here. I'm going to have a look at designing a good party. So firstly, you'll notice you've got quite a few options to choose from. Now if you haven't played the original Dungeon Master, the party is composed of 4 characters. There are 2 characters at the front and 2 characters at the rear. Only the front 2 characters can engage in melee combat, so you want to have 2 characters that have a ranged attack, whether it's a mage or a missile or something like that, but the front 2 characters are going to take the majority of the damage, and the back 2 characters will be more ranged attackers. Okay, and there's only 3 classes to choose from, as you can see: the fighter, the mage and the rogue, and you have 4 character slots, so you will have to double up on one of these classes, or at least one of these classes. And each character has a number of different attributes, as you see down here: strength, dexterity, vitality and willpower. And I'll just run through these briefly, just so it will help you to understand what all the skills and things kind of represent. The strength really influences your attacking power and also how much you can carry. The dexterity attribute increases your accuracy for melee attacks and increases your evasion, and also gives you resistance to fire and shock damage. Vitality determines the amount of health that you gain after each level, and it also helps you to resist cold and poison damage. Willpower is the main trait used for mages, and it determines the amount of energy you receive at the end of each level, or once you gain a level. You can see also that there's 4 different races to choose from. The human race is kind of the standard character who's good at, or can be good at anything basically, but not really focused in any particular area. The Minotaurs have huge bonuses to strength. They get a plus 5 bonus to strength and a plus 4 bonus to vitality, or they get minuses to dexterity and willpower. They also consume more food, so a Minotaur will consume 20% more food than other characters. The lizard men get bonuses to dexterity, and they get a minus to their willpower. Insects also get quite a few bonuses. They get a small bonus to dexterity, a large bonus to willpower, so they make pretty good mages. They also have a food consumption of minus 15%, so they don't need much food. But on the downside, they get negatives to their strength and vitality, so they're not as strong as other characters. Each of these races get a certain amount of skill points as well, which I'll talk about in a little bit. The humans get the most, they get 4 skill points. The Minotaur just gets 1, the lizard men get 3, and the insectoids also get 3. Now each class has access to 6 different skills. The fighter, the mage and the rogue all have different skills, and this means that you can really focus your characters in a very narrow niche, I suppose. So for instance, if you have 2 mages in the back row, they each can focus on different areas of magic. There's the air and earth, fire, ice, or even staff defense. So even though you may be doubling up on some of your classes, they can still be very different characters. Each character can pick a number of different traits. They only get 2 traits, so you're going to have to choose very well because you're going to be stuck with it for the entire game. Certain traits are going to benefit certain characters depending on how you want to play them. So things like Aura, which have will give you plus 15 energy, are good for mages, as well as Strong Mind, which increases willpower, and willpower increases the amount of energy you get when you gain a level. For the fighters, you'll be looking at things like Healthy, which increases vitality. There's also Tough, which increases health, which may make the game a little bit easier in the beginning, although I'd probably say Healthy in the long run is going to be much better because the increase in vitality will increase your health points much more than 15 points over the long run. Evasive is a great character trait to choose. It increases in evasion by plus 7. So the natural choice for this skill is for rogues, but it's also great for fighters as well because it means they're going to be taking less damage, they're going to be getting hit less as well. So there's definitely a lot of choices here. Some of them are only available to certain races, such as the Headhunter is only available for the Minotaur, which gives them plus 3 attack power each time they find and carry a skull. There's only a certain amount of skulls in the game, so that is limited, but it's definitely a big bonus for the Minotaur. And Insectoids have natural armor as well, which you can choose if you want them to be a fighter type character, and it increases their protection by plus 5. So there's definitely a huge range of skills and traits to choose from. My personal preference at the moment is choosing a human character as one of the fighters, and having two rogues. One is the close combat fighter and the other as a ranged fighter, and lastly a mage, probably focusing in fire magic and one of the other areas of magic as well. But really you're limited only by your imagination and the choices you have here. I mean, some people choose to pick a party of 4 rogues, and that can do quite well as well. Makes it a little bit difficult in the beginning to get started, but once your characters start to build up, they can turn into a pretty powerful team. Minotaurs are also pretty good on the front line as well as one of your fighters. They definitely have a pretty big hit. They suffer in their accuracy quite a bit, which can let them down, but they're definitely big hitters once they do hit. The lizard men are kind of similar to humans as well, in that they're fairly good all-rounders, and they can really fit in any position. The insectoids are good for mages primarily, but you can fit them in any position. You just need to adjust their skills and traits to match what you're really looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and create my party and begin the adventure. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to make sure you keep up to date with all the latest videos.